Morning, welcome to this morning's Outlook. This is Kim speaking. Let's have a look at the markets. Before we do so, of course, we'll always look at the potential risk. And we have nicely placed here. Let's get the right date this week. Today we'll do. Got last week there at the moment. There we go. Wednesday the 23rd. So the key data out today is the PMI data. It comes in across from Europe, the UK, and the US. So the whole day is taken up by PMI data. Now we've got for the French data out first at 8:15, 8:30. You got the German figures out. 9 o'clock data tends to have less impact. Then 9:30 we've got the UK data. UK data particularly important for the pound today. I mean these plus figures on services. If services still keep pushing up, it could be seen as sort of inflationary as well. In which case it will strengthen the pound. But either way, anything that's positive here is going to be pound positive. The Eurozone has really been struggling with its data here. I mean, German manufacturing dropped down to 38.8 last time. It's not expected to increase too much this time. 0.1 difference, very little. Any positive surprises here could get the euro pushing quite quickly, but what this means anyway with this data coming out, because it can move the markets, is that we will hold back from trading too early on the euro and the pound. Get cracking on them later. US data coming out at 2:45, so if you're day trading, it's going to give you a bit of time anyway. Maybe some of the cross pairs would be better opportunities. Right, let's have a look at talking of cross pairs and stuff. Let's go and have a look at the euro dollar first. And got this big bearish engulfing bar yesterday. Suggest a continuation bar at the moment. We're seeing a bit of a bounce though on these markets. Talked about this yesterday in terms of we see these rallies and all of a sudden they drop off again. Yesterday looked like it was putting higher lows in, looking really quite positive. When I did the update, give it an hour or so, and it was looking less positive. It already caught the pivot, so it wasn't a trade back to the pivot and what I was looking for. But crikey, it went all day down to its S1, S2. That's quite an expensive day there for it. I'm looking at it at the moment, and well, it depends on when the news comes out and what happens really. But looking at the daily pivot above here, looking really at the obvious place is a trend line across the lows here, and a continuation, because it's a flag, continuation to the downside. But we've got to wait for that data to come out. The pound data at 9:30. The pound held up a bit better yesterday. It's sort of it was off, but you can just see it's holding up there. The potential of interest rate increases in September and the higher numbers is really holding the pound up at the moment. Ironically, it could be disinflationary in terms of the pound being able to buy a bit more and cheaper goods, but I think too many people are willing to take advantage of the current situation. Anyway, the pound dollar, well, again, really looking at how it's run into the pivot here. It could be quite nice on the sell, from the sell there down towards the S1, the prior lows. That's what I'm looking at, but got to be patient here today. Okay, dollar yen, somewhere we don't have to be quite so patient, isn't really doing too much. It looks like it could be topping around this high. We saw it when we got up to the 145 area, which was quite key. We're seeing a similar sort of slowish pattern here. We'll see what it does. Really, so long as it is what it is, as much as I'd like to be on the short side, because I think there might be a bigger correction at some stage, I can't. I need to wait and be patient. Really, the point coming back to this sort of 4 rally picture is the lows here back on the 18th of August. Once we see those break, it's more of a signal that it could be having a bigger correction. But for now, just leave it alone. Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, we've had a couple of days up, and well, we're up slightly today, but it looks flat down here. Really doesn't look like it's gone too far at all. Lots of chop, and well, we'll see what happens. Lower highs there this morning so far. It's ugly. Is the best description of it. 4 hourly wise, it's still ugly. Yeah, so it doesn't look good at any time frame. I'd rather be looking for the downside, and there might be an opportunity of trend lines across these lows here to start picking a bit of a fight with it. But it's just so awkward at the moment. Right, US dollar CAD, another one that's gone into chop. You see it sort of last 1, 2, 3 days. Really not. It's just flattening out where it is here. The overall shape here, well, obviously is looking very bullish at this stage. And the shape, well, we just got the consolidation round the highs, and it's close to the highs. So to me, it gives it a potential of further upside here. But it's sort of ugly when you get down to the hourlies. So, but a bit of patience to let it sort itself out more. The yen, New Zealand dollar even, US dollar, New Zealand US even, showing a little signs of a bounce here as well. You see a little curvature up. It's actually a bit clearer than the Aussie at this stage. Again, it's quite messy on the lower time frames. Really not going anywhere it's in a hurry. And a lot of this could well be that the dollar itself isn't moving that much. With Jackson Hole coming up, that's where traders will be looking for, and you're going to see the Swiss in the same old tight pattern that it has been for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. It's in the range there, but an untradable range. It's very ugly looking range, erring towards the upside range, but I don't even want to consider trading it. Got to pick your fights carefully. Euro yen, well, we saw it was looking like it could break out yesterday morning. Look, we even got an alert left on it, and it didn't. Obviously, it's pulled back off these highs here. It's sort of some would claim it's done a quad high, and it's a bit of a range at the moment. I'm just looking at where we're sitting here. A move back to the dailies is possible. It's all a bit of a mess here, but there's certainly some scope for it to run back towards its daily, but as I say, messy. Euro yen is still sitting in a short on this, got a while to wait at the moment. Been tracking the stop down. It's almost a break even. That will be later if we can continue seeing some movement to the downside. Looks pretty off this weekly pivot. We've got the S1 still sitting below. Well, 4 hourly picture, you can see how clear a trend it's sort of really in, and horrible little spiky price action there at 10 o'clock, but we get this anyway. But ignoring that, it's still southbound. Euro Aussie, we tend to look at these pairs a lot, but Euro Aussie coming off a little at the moment. Euro just softening up. Of course, we've got data very shortly. Tell you what, looking at this, it's got the chance of the daily pivot, of course, high probability of that being here. Just looking to see if we were to get back beyond the weekly pivot there, I'd be a bit more bullish on this again. I see the euro as being stronger than the Aussie in the bigger picture fundamentally. I'm going to put an alert on this in a moment if I can. That will do. Let's just get an alert put up there whilst I remember. Give it a little tag on my tagger. Oh look, there it is. Right. Don't even need that visible, do I? Look, you don't need to see all that. Euro CAD. Wow, it's a mess. Just nothing happening here. Erring yesterday, day before yesterday, erring up to the upside. Yesterday just come off solidly there. Really quite messy. Never do like these patterns when they're these pennants, and well, nothing there for me at the moment. Pound Aussie, pound CAD. Pound's doing better against the Aussie. Have we got? Oh, we've got potential on the pound Aussie for a bit of a movement. The only thing is, it's so flat and it held up so solidly for around that 199.20 area for such a long time. Might not have a lot of gas in the tank. Where would we be looking for bullishness? Positive would be above its daily pivot. It has already hit the S1 there, but the momentum in the bigger move has been pretty decent. It's looking like a little old flag sitting there at the moment, just not looking like a great flag. When you look at it on the 4 hour, it's quite ugly, and at the moment it's got lower highs kicking in on this short term, but if it gets back above the daily pivot, maybe it's got something going for it. Pound CAD again, the pound just being that bit more stronger, and well, still trying to push up there. Looking a little bit more positive across the time frames. Yeah, close above this prior high would give us a confirmed higher low, and maybe we could look to ride it back towards the highs there. Okay, but again, we've got to see 930 out of the way for the pound pairing. So a lot of these pairings, really, we've got to wait, sit and wait. It's just getting us a bit of an idea and just looking at what the other trends are doing. And again, pound yen still looking very strong, and well, subject to data, this could be more interesting above its pivot. Okay, well, that's the currencies here. Quick look at what's going on elsewhere. Gold. Interested in the short term. Gold's held up a little bit better than I might have expected, judging by what everything else is doing. Still looking at the trend across the lows there. It would have actually broken one yesterday there, but just looking at trend against the lows there for the short side. Just can't be looking for the long side on it. Temptation is to sit in card by the bottom here, and it's going to push up there, but it is just that. It's not giving me any real signs. It's not even giving me a higher low yet. If it breaks the high that yesterday's high there, possibly we'd get a bit more oomph in it. But really, do I want to be going against this? Oil's been a disappointment. That's all I can say about it. So come off popping on, looking quite good at the beginning of the week, and since then really just tracking back here. Ugly old day yesterday, nothing to be done. As I said, it's 2 o'clock on the previous day, which I thought it would get a surge on, got nothing, and it's looking southbound as I'm looking at it at the moment. So there we go. Yeah, looking southbound and going southbound, just looking softer. Okay, CSI 300. Let's just quick look back to normal. We saw the bounces yesterday, and back to normal on the CSI 300. And Nikkei's fared better and holding on better, but Nifty 50 also staying above this 50 that I'm looking at as the sort of key level. Still looking a little bit more positive at the moment, as is the Aussie 200, although selling back a little bit towards the close, but looking okay. Getting into the other markets and S&Ps, E-minis, and well, yesterday it was looking good when I spoke in the morning. I spoke too soon, but as I reminded you, and we've got this trend line on here, it is very much in a downward trend here. Lower highs, lower lows. We've had a solid old week last week to the downside. Bit more of a correction to the upsides possible, but I'm just looking for the break of this this flaggy sort of pattern. Dow Jones really really couldn't do too much. It's sluggish. It's behind the curve here. Solid down yesterday, but still got scope to come off. Not massively bullish on these markets, as you can gather. Mainly because at the moment, over the last few weeks, we've been seeing downside. DAX this morning continuing to see a bit of a bounce at the moment. Positiveness, we'll see something change potentially there come the news in about 15 minutes time, so watch out, this could change and get quite bitty, so I won't spend too much on that. And the FTSE is really a similar flat, ugly mess. Flatter. Okay, it's not consolidating at the absolute lows, which means it could come up, but overall it looks quite bearish there, and as I said, data dependent, we could see these markets drop quite quickly. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. I will speak to you in the morning. Have a great day. Bye for now.